Hello and welcome back to Big Starter's Mystical Musings. Tonight I'd like to look at cleansing and clearing. These two terms are often used interchangeable, but they are different processes. Cleansing is the removal of things that you don't want and the leaving of things that you do want. Clearing is the removal of absolutely everything and starting over. So, if you want to cleanse a space, there's any number of methods to do it, and we're going to talk about those. But if you want to clear a space, we'll talk about how to do that too. But I also want to emphasize that if you clear a space, you have to replace the energy you've kicked out. Otherwise, you create a vacuum and everything you removed rushes right back in. So even if you replace it with basic earth energy, that's fine. That's more than enough. If you want to get real fancy and replace it with energy conducive to a healing ritual, yep, go for it. You can do it. I have faith in you. A lot of this stuff, as I mentioned before, regarding energy work, is a lot of trial and error to see what actually works well for you. If something doesn't work for you, that's fine. Move on. Find what does work for you. Now, before you're going to cleanse or clear any space, you're going to clean it. Yes, physically clean it. The boring, the horrifically tedious job of cleaning it. And I get it. We're in COVID-19 lockdown, and a lot of us have let a bunch of things slide, including cleaning. That is a reality. It's a very human thing to do. It becomes very low on the priority list, especially when your emotional well-being is already pretty down. But in this case, you have to just put your nose to the grindstone and do it. There's no other way around it. And the reason you are going to physically clean your space is because stagnant energy will cling to clutter and dirt. And if you don't physically clean, the attempt at clearing or cleansing is going to be very, very lukewarm as a result, at best. Or it may just flop entirely, depending on how bad the situation is. To clear a space, to remove all energy, there's any number of ways to do it. But by and far, the most prolifically used way is sage. I know. I told you in another video that sage is a placebo. Well, yes, it can certainly be used as a placebo. A lot of things can be used as a placebo. This does not negate their worth for an actual magical application. And in sage, in the Department of Sage, it is awesome for clearing a space. And I do mean clearing. It will indiscriminately kick out all energies. Doesn't matter if they're good, bad, ugly. It doesn't care. It's just going to remove everything. You notice I keep talking about energies. I want you to be careful. There's a huge difference between energies and entities. Entities can be any number of things, from fae to ghosts to deities to whatever, landwights, Jotun, or giants, as you would say in English. There's all kinds of things in our world that are beyond the daily mundane. And a lot of those things couldn't care less about sage. Some of them will not only be not affected by sage, but they will get really, really insulted and pissed off. So make sure you know what you're using your sage for and what's around. Awareness is that's the key point here. That's all I'm saying. For cleansing, you can use any number of things. My preference is to use the elements and visualize them rolling through the space and out a door or an open window, where everything can just be piled in a trash heap, and then I like to energetically nuke it, just destroy it, so it's no longer an issue. It's not a common way, I've found. It's my personal way, and it's completely up to you if that's what you want to use. One thing I will recommend is before you start cleansing or clearing, get yourself one of these lovely things. It's a chime. There's many different sizes, many different tonal ranges, and use whichever one works for you. This one in particular is very vibrant. Now, I'm not sure if the video is going to pick it up, but there is a reverberation from the chime, and the sound of the chime is going to shake loose all energies in the area. Makes it so much easier to get rid of them. You're not limited to chimes. Smashing pots and pans together, that will work too. But sound in general is a wonderful way of shaking loose energy. So that covers space. What do you want to do for personal? Personal is dealing with your body. And there's all kinds of ways to do it. You can look online for cleansing or ritual baths, and there's all manner of variations of that. Some very simple, some very complex, and probably very pricey. I personally, if I'm going to have a bath, baths are not my favorite thing. I'm more of a shower girl, but there does come a time when you just need that bit extra, that bit of luxury and pampering that is a bath. When I do that, what I do is I get Homo milk, big 4-liter jug, and I dump that into my bath water. Make sure it's really, really hot bath water so that the milk doesn't cool it down too much. But you don't need to spend a fortune on fancy bath milk. What you get at the grocery store is going to work just fine. Step in, sink down, luxuriate, and let that milk just soothe everything. Let it absorb all the negativity, all the yuck that you've been accumulating, and you just need to get rid of. And then you're going to pull your plug, let it all drain out. Watch as all that water goes down, and know that all the junk the milk pulled out of you is also going down the drain. After that, you can decide if you want to get out. Or in my case, I like to then take the shower head and just spray myself down. Finish it off. The other means of cleansing myself is a shower, a good old-fashioned shower. It works really well because as you stand under the lovely hot water, you're just going to visualize all the junk, all the ick, all the horrible stuff that you've been clinging to subconsciously going down that drain. And then you're going to get out, finish your shower however it works for you, and carry on with your day. That's a real easy way of cleansing and clearing your personal person. Pardon me. One last one. Excuse me a minute. Sorry about that. There's one final means of of taking care of your body and cleansing it. And this is going to count as TMI. Way too much information. Next time you have to take a dump on the toilet, pack all that horrible junk right into your colon, squeeze it on out with that big dump. Magic and visualization and all of that doesn't have to be big or elaborate. A lot of the time, the simplest things are the most effective. So, get to cleaning your place up and try doing some clearing and cleansing. You have options. You have the internet. So find what works. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns, you're more than welcome to put them in the comments section. Have a good night, everyone. Bye.